Have you ever been somewhere that feels off? Like reality itself is thin, and one wrong step could send you tumbling into the unknown? For Ethan, a young office worker, this was just another day. That is, until it wasn't. It started like any other day. Ethan was on his lunch break, rushing back to his desk after grabbing a coffee. But when he turned into the hallway leading to his cubicle, he felt the floor shift beneath him. The walls wavered, the air thickened, and before he could call out for help, he fell. When Ethan opened his eyes, he was no longer in his office. He was somewhere else, a place that defied reason. The walls were yellowed with age. The fluorescent lights above buzzed endlessly, and the air smelled of mildew and rot. He was in the Backrooms. At first, Ethan thought it was some kind of elaborate prank. This can't be real, he whispered to himself. But the Backrooms had a way of proving you wrong, no matter how far he walked. The scenery remained the same, an endless maze of yellow walls and buzzing lights. Hours turned into days. Or was it weeks? Time lost all meaning here. The only constant was the dreadful hum that echoed to the halls and the feeling that he wasn't alone. It wasn't long before Ethan realized he wasn't the only one trapped here. In the distance, he spotted movement, a flicker of something dark, sliding across the walls like smoke. It wasn't human. It wasn't even alive in the way he understood. Panicked, Ethan turned and ran. But the Backrooms didn't make sense. The hallways twisted, turned back on themselves, and closed in like a living, breathing thing. He could hear the creature behind him, its footsteps wet and heavy, its ragged breathing echoing in the endless maze. Ethan wasn't alone. He began hearing voices, faint and distorted, like old recordings played through a broken speaker. "Help me," one whispered.
"They're coming,"
warned another. Were they other victims? Or was it the Backrooms playing tricks on his mind? He wanted to call out, but something told him to stay silent. The entities here didn't just hunt, they listened. After what felt like an eternity, Ethan found a door. His heart raced as he reached for the handle. But his hope quickly turned to despair. On the other side wasn't freedom. It was just more the same. Yellow walls, buzzing lights, and that unshakable sense of dread. The Backrooms weren't just a place. They were alive, and they didn't want him to leave. As the days bled into each other, Ethan began to change. His mind unraveled, his memories of the outside world fading like a distant dream. Was he even Ethan anymore? Or was he just another shadow in the endless maze? In the end, Ethan decided he wouldn't run anymore. He stood his ground as the entity approached, its form a shifting mass of shadows and teeth. "You can't take what's already gone," he whispered. What happened next, no one can say. The Backrooms don't give back their victims. They consume them, piece by piece, until nothing remains. For Ethan, the story ended. But the Backrooms are infinite, always waiting for the next victim to take a wrong step. And if you're not careful, that victim might be you. Have you ever felt reality slip away? Share your own backroom stories in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because you never know when the next step you take could be your last.